playing the two sides of Cruella, Estella and Cruella. It's been really interesting. It's also been interesting to kind of gauge the tone and how different they are, how much of Cruella is in Estella and how much of Estella is in Cruella. But I think it's kind of fantastic because it's the personification of those two sides of her hair. You know, there's kind of like the dark and the light. But one of the great things I think about the way that Estella is written is that she's not, if she's the white, she's not like this pure, sweet, unattainably, you know, perfect creature. She's full of vim and vigor, and she's feisty and smart and is a con artist. So she definitely has a lot of personality, which I love.
What drives her is not wanting ever to come second and not wanting ever to share the limelight with anybody else. So what drives her is her narcissistic and difficult personality. You know, what drives her is her personality disorder, essentially. She's not well. I mean, she's really, really not well. And that energy that comes from her, I mean, she's obviously a very, very, very creative woman and brilliant. She's a brilliant designer. But then this other person comes along who's better and modern and hip and chic and young and everything she can't bear.
I'm not really a car person, but this I was looking, I was like, whoa, this is like, yeah, reminded me of the animation actually, because it looks just like, you just never see a car like that. Apparently there's only 11 of them or something like this. There's some story behind it, there's not many of them at all. And it looks serious. I don't know what they've souped it up. I think they've souped it up a bit, but yeah, it looks serious. It can go as well.
There's power in numbers, so the young Horace and young Jasper were probably somewhat self-sufficient, but I think Estella is the real creative genius in that group. They're really more the sweat equity. She's the brain behind the operation. So when she joins their group and it becomes a trio, that's when they kind of find their outwitting of everyone, and they kind of come up together in the world of seedy crime. But I think the way the dynamic changes is when you see Estella start to change without giving anything away. As Estella starts to change, the friendship starts to change, and suddenly Horace and Jasper aren't sure if they like where the friendship is headed. It's like they're more employees rather than friends.
John the Valet's a mysterious character because he's part of the Baroness's entourage. He's with her often at the most important moments of the movie. And you're never really quite sure, I think, who he is or what his agenda is, because essentially he's quite a silent character. But there's a point in the movie where there's a twist and you discover something very interesting about him. And I think it was that made me want to play him, because I felt like the audience were being led down a certain path of expectation of that character that's then undermined and slightly changed, and he ends up being not what you think he is.